Hello, FCA teammates. I hope all is well. I'm coming to you via video for this newsletter because, well, why not? I suppose everything else is virtual right now. So here I am in video. I wish I could be in person with each of you, but video will have to do for now. Just wanted to reach out and give you an FCA year in review, and then also ask you to get involved financially in a project that we partner with Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy and the football team there, so that they can give out FCA Bibles to each of their opponents after each home game. And so just wanted to ask you to prayerfully consider getting involved with that with us. But before I get into that, I'll back it up for you and give you an FCA year in review. It was about a year ago when we did our first FCA Akron team football camp with the Kenmore Garfield High School football team. And what we did was we loaded up the whole team, the whole coaching staff, and we went down to Canton for 3 days and 2 nights. And the team was allowed to practice on the Pro Football Hall of Fame practice fields. They got the lights. We practiced at night, and the big Hall of Fame logo right in the middle of the field. Of course, the kids, ate that up and really enjoyed that experience. And when we weren't on the field practicing, we were staying overnight at a local hotel there in Canton, and then also going right across the parking lot from that hotel to a church and doing all of our chapel services right there at the church. And so over the course of 3 days, we had multiple football practices, but we had also about five Christian messages where we really just dug in and kind of introduced the team and even the coaching staff to the basics of Christianity and what it means to commit our lives to Christ and follow Him. And throughout this camp, we ended up having 10 people in attendance at the camp commit their lives to Christ and take that step further in their faith. And we also had, in particular, some really, really exceptional moments throughout camp. We had one athlete in particular. He's by far probably the most athletic on the field and on the team. And he knew it. First day of practice, he was without a shirt and had the gold cleats on and looked the part, and is a heck of an athlete. And but it was fun as we kind of progressed through camp. The first day of camp, I asked the team, "What are you afraid of?" And some of the kids got as deep as death, or some of them said snakes and spiders, but got to this kid and he said, "I'm not afraid of anything." Which just kind of tells you the type of person he is and the walls that he has built up. But as we progressed through camp, we got to the final message of camp, and we brought in Marcus McFalling, and Marcus has just a powerful testimony that really relates to a lot of the kids in that room. And as Marcus was delivering his testimony, this one kid in particular just began to cry, and he cried and cried, and I bet he cried for 30-45 minutes. And the beauty of this was that his head coach went over there and just hugged him. And so you got a room full of football players and coaches, right? A lot of toxic masculinity, you might even call it, potentially in the room. But no, that's not what was happening. You had the head football coach hugging the star athlete as he's broken down in tears. And in many ways, that encapsulates what FCA is all about for me, right? We're all about creating those moments for our youth, for our athletes to encounter God in a very real way, for God to tear down their walls and for them to commit their lives to Him. And anytime we can surround them by an adult that they look up to, who's strong in the faith, that's a win-win, right? That's really just going above and beyond, and really what we strive to do. And so that was football camp, and then we fast forwarded throughout the fall. We did our CVCA Bible project, in which the CVCA football team handed out right around 200 Bibles to opponents, FCA Bibles, to opponents after their home games. And we continued on with the fall semester. I was also the full-time chaplain for the U of Akron football team this past year. I'm actually wearing my Akron shirt right now, but what that entailed was a Thursday night FCA meeting on campus there in the football team meeting room from 6 to 7 p.m. It was very laid back. Usually I'd bring Melanie and Scout. We'd have a meal for the kids. I say kids, they're grown people at this point, but the athletes. And we'd eat, talk, and then we'd dig into the Bible, or I'd deliver a message, or I'd bring in a local coach or former athlete to come in and share their testimony with the kids. And it was just a really simple but powerful time. And we did that all school year long until, of course, social distancing and all of that kind of put a wrench in everything. But so I did that Thursday nights with not only the football team, but also we had some female and male cross country runners, and we had the female lacrosse team coming to a lot of our meetings as well. And on Friday nights, I also would travel with the team if we went away, or if they were local, I'd go to the hotel room and the hotel, and do a chapel service on Friday nights for the team. We had a good portion of the team that would show up, and even some of the coaches would come to chapel services on Friday nights. And then Saturday, I'd be on the sidelines with the team. And I was gearing up to do that again this year. And as you all know, you might know, Akron was set to play Clemson at Clemson the second week of the season. And I was pumped. I was ready to go to Clemson, South Carolina. I know Clemson is a 4-letter word right now in the state of Ohio, but I was pretty excited about that. And of course, the season has been canceled and things have been postponed a little bit. So I'm having to deal with the fallout from that of setting my expectations really high, and social distancing has kind of squashed that a little bit. But I say all of that to say that being the chaplain has been a lot of fun for me. It's been a lot of fun getting to know these athletes, and I've been able to develop some deeper relationships with some of these athletes. We had 3 athletes coming to us on and off, coming to church with us on and off throughout the year as well. I received 2 texts from 2 of these athletes that I want to share with you as well. One was on December 10th of 2019. This was from a male football player. He texted me saying, "I'm changing my life around right now. Tuesday, December 10th, I openly declare in my heart that Jesus is Lord and that God raised him from the dead." And he sent me this text over a picture of Romans 10:9 and 10, which is the Bible verses he was quoting there. And then I also received a text from a female lacrosse player, would have been right around Christmas break time as well. And here's what she said. She said, "I was just thinking about God, and I just wanted to say that FCA has been the first church group I have felt comfortable in, and I'm thankful that you take the time out of your week to do it every Thursday. Thank you for everything." And those are just 2 small little snapshots of what it's been like to be the chaplain there at the University of Akron, and really continue to develop relationships with these athletes and walk alongside them in their faith and in life. They're dealing with all sorts of stuff, and so it's just been fun, that piece of the puzzle as well. In addition to all of that, we launched 5 huddles this past school year. We launched at Highland High School. This huddle was launched by a senior female athlete, and she knocked it out of the park. She did all the recruiting and getting everybody there, and we launched with about 25 kids to start, which was just phenomenal. We also launched at Barberton High School and Barberton Middle School, some coaches there that got the ball rolling there. We launched our second huddle at Talmadge High School, so not only do we have our all-sports huddle there at Talmadge, but we also have a soccer huddle with the soccer team as well. And then we launched our 3rd huddle in the Kenmore Garfield school system, which is just really cool to see a school system saturated with FCA. We've been at the middle school there, Ennis Middle School, for the past 4 years. We've been with the football team at Kenmore Garfield for longer than that. But now we have an all-sports huddle there at Kenmore Garfield, and so that's just a really exciting thing as well. And another little tidbit from that, I went and delivered a message to that group. It would have been their first or second meeting, and I walked out of the room where we were meeting, and one of the guidance counselors stopped me in the hall and said, "Are you with FCA?" And I said, "Yeah, I am." And she said, I don't know what you've been doing at the middle school, but she said, over the past few years, we've had kids coming up here to the high school, and they've told me how much they enjoy FCA. And so I'm just really glad to know that we're launching that here at the high school. And it was just another one of those kind of God moments where it's just a little pat on the back saying, hey, you are making an impact. Keep moving forward in this. And so, just a lot of fun with the launch of those huddles and everything going on throughout the school year as well. And of course, this brings us to mid March and the coronavirus and social distancing and everything that's gone on there. FCA, in many ways, has taken our ministry activities to the virtual realm. We launched a coaches huddle and an athletes huddle here in Northeast Ohio. Um, we also had to cancel a couple of camps throughout the summer. They were overnight camps, and FCA had asked us not to do anything overnight. And so we're just trying to shift and figure out what it all looks like. Of course, we sit now at August 18th, and a lot of schools are just now getting started, and a lot of stuff still up in the air. So we're really just trying to figure out what it looks like to minister and minister well to the coaches and athletes in our community. And we're really just kind of going off of the law and what the school rules might be. From an FCA standpoint, we're going to push toward in person as long as we can do it safely. I think we've found out over the past 4 or 5 months that the virtual realm is really lacking relationally. It's good as a worst case scenario, but we'd really like to continue to push toward meeting in person, and so we're working that through and trying to figure out what that looks like this fall and beyond. So stay tuned for that. And the last thing that I want to kind of ask you to consider is joining in financially on our CVCA Bible project. This will be the 3rd year that we've been doing the Bible project with CVCA. And what this is simply is we provide FCA Bibles for the CVCA football team to hand out to each one of their opponents. So what happens is CVCA plays, a local school at home at CVCA, and after the game, once they all slap hands, shake hands, the CVCA football team and coaching staff invites the other team to the middle of the field for a discussion about God, about Christ, and a prayer, and then also each player grabs one Bible and takes it to an opposing player and hands it to him as a gift. And so we want to continue to provide that for the CVCA team. This year we're going to shoot for another 200 Bibles to send to them. And those Bibles are $12 a piece, including shipping and handling. So we're looking at about a $2,400 cost on that. So if you feel like the Lord is leading you toward helping and contributing toward that cause, it's a really, really cool thing that the team's doing. Please, by all means, reach out to me. I'll let you know how you can make that donation, and we'll go from there. Otherwise, like I said, I just hope to see each one of you in person here in the near future. I'm an introvert, and I'm tired of staring at a computer screen. I'm ready to see people. I'm ready to sit across from them, share a cup of coffee, breakfast, lunch, you name it, and just be there and be present with people. So I'm hoping for that in the near future. I'm praying for that. I want to encourage each one of you to just hang in there. God is on the throne. There's still a ton of good to be done in the midst of this challenge, perhaps even more good as people have their foundations shaken a bit in the midst of this time. So just want to encourage you to keep leaning into the Lord and following Him, and I'm certain that fruit will bear itself in that. So thank you all so much for being an FCA teammate, for supporting what we do. I hope all is well in your world, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon.